Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on, a bit explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. This video is going to be from New Jersey, and New Jersey does things a little bit different when it comes to their officer-involved shooting videos or their in custody death or any interaction with law enforcement that results in some type of death. I have not seen any individual agencies release any footage that I can recall. All the footage I've seen coming out of New Jersey has come from the New Jersey Attorney General's office, and they had a law passed, I think, back in 2019 that kind of stipulated how the state would go forward with being transparent with these fatal encounters with law enforcement, and that they would be doing independent investigations in these incidents, and that within a certain timeline they would release footage even before the investigation is completed so that they can be transparent with the public. So all this is coming from the Attorney General's office in New Jersey. They released the video or videos in basically raw format. Some of it's redacted, but there is no typical critical incident briefing type of format with these videos. So there's no spokesperson telling you what's going on. So I'll have to read to you a news release from the Attorney General's office, and then I'll play the videos. West New York, New Jersey. The Attorney General's office today released video footage from 4 body-worn cameras, 4 surveillance cameras, and a 911 call related to a police-involved shooting that occurred on June 3rd, 2022 in West New York, New Jersey. The deceased has been identified as Kevin Colindres, 32, of West New York. The fatal shooting remains under investigation by the Office of Public Integrity and Accountability. The recordings are being released pursuant to policies established by the Attorney General's office in 2019, blah, 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 blah. According to preliminary investigation, uniformed officers of the West New York Police Department responded to a residence on 59th Street in West New York, New Jersey, at approximately 6:30 p.m. in response to a 911 call involving a domestic dispute. During the initial encounter, Mr. Colindres fired a weapon at the officers while standing in the vestibule of the home. One officer discharged his weapon. One officer sustained a non-fatal injury during this initial encounter with Mr. Colindres. Officers took cover and maintained the scene. Approximately 15 minutes after the initial encounter, the suspect emerged from a neighboring door and ran down the sidewalk, visibly armed with 2 firearms. An officer discharged his firearm, fatally wounding the suspect. Officers and emergency medical personnel rendered first aid to the suspect. 2 firearms were recovered near the suspect, and 1 additional firearm was recovered on his person. The suspect was pronounced deceased at Hackensack Meridian Palisades Medical Center at 7:13 p.m. That's a hell of a name for a hospital. And then it goes on to talk about the state law enacted in 2019 and blah, blah, blah. All right, so here we go, and I'll play the 911 call, and then will come the body-worn cameras and surveillance footage.
What address? 33? Hey, here. Send me 2 guys on a domestic. I got a female victim in front of my house. 5'9".
5'9". I got a call for 5'9" on the floor. Is that looking?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's where the DV happened. Yeah.
Okay, and they're currently in front of 5'9".
No. The victim is at 5'9". Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
We got 2 units around already.
Okay. So, the victim is with me right now in front of my house.
The victim is with you right now?
Yeah, get an EMS over here too.
Okay, we'll send someone over.
5'9".
Okay, we're sending him over now.
5'9".
I'll get EMS around as well.
Bye.
All right, now we'll get into the body cameras.
There's a kid in the apartment.
Two, we need a better location. Nothing showing here.
Two, check the cannon.
Yeah, I already have it.
You can put myself in 5-9.
Back up. Back the fuck up.
Wait, let me see your hands.
Back up.
Shots fired, shots fired. Shots fired, shots fired.
All right, so that was pretty quick. Let's replay that.
There's a kid in the apartment.
All right, so this first officer here, I mean, he appears to be just wearing street clothes and has a vest on over top of it.
Two, we need a better location. Nothing showing here.
And then this guy, same thing. He just appears to be wearing street clothes, normal t-shirt, and a vest over top of it. And judging by how wavy this vest is, I'm not even sure if there's a fucking ballistic panel in this damn thing. Like, it almost looks like he's wearing just a carrier.
Two, check the cannon.
Yeah, I already have it.
You can put myself in 5-9.
I like how this officer is putting on gloves as he's going to this call. You know, sometimes these incidents end up in force having to be used and there being bodily fluids, so he is getting prepared in case they have to go hands-on. And they may have dealt with this person once before in the past and they know it's probably going to go hands-on, so he's getting himself prepared. But he quickly abandons that idea, pulls the gloves off, and goes at it with no gloves.
Back up. Back the fuck up.
Wait, let me see your hands.
Of course, the guy, in true oxygen thief fashion, becomes instantly aggressive with them, telling them to back the fuck up, blah, blah, blah. It's hard for the officer to see into the room because of the lighting conditions, so he has to use a flashlight to see what's going on inside. As soon as that happens, this guy becomes a deadly threat and pulls two weapons out and starts shooting. You can see a round come through the door. I'll back that up just a little bit more so you can see it. Pay attention to this area right here. As he backs away from the door, you will see a round come through this part of the door. Very fast.
Shots fired, shots fired. Wait, let me see your hands. Wait, let me see your hands.
Back the fuck up.
Wait, let me see your hands.
Back the fuck.
Watch the what would be his left side. Watch that area when the gun comes up. It almost looks like there could be a laser beam on the weapon turned on as he brings it up.
Wait, let me see your hands.
He brings his weapon out, but he still has a flashlight in his hand, and he attempts to get a two-handed grip, but we obviously see that he does not have an adequate two-handed grip. He's still essentially holding the gun one-handed at this point because he does not have a proper two-handed grip on the handgun. This is a common thing that I see in these videos. Officers going from 0 to 100 like that, and they have an object in their support hand and they draw a gun with their dominant hand and they try to marry the two hands together like they do in training, like they've trained multiple times to do, but they still have that object in their non-dominant hand and it clashes together and it does not allow for a good two-handed grip. I think that you should train to jettison non-essential items out of your hand during a fight. So, handheld flashlights. If you're using a flashlight for searching purposes, it's a utility light at that point. When the fight happens, yes, you can use a utility light for fighting purposes, but it is, at time of recording right now, for me, it is January of 2023. This incident occurred in 2022, so my statement still applies even back then. There are great weapon-mounted lights available. All fighting guns should have weapon-mounted lights on them, even if you predominantly only work daytime. Case in point, this example right here. He needed to be able to see into that area with a light because of the lighting conditions. So it would make a lot of sense for him to have a weapon-mounted light on that gun so that he could adequately identify and target the bad guy in there and deliver incapacitating rounds on target. So I think that you should train to jettison non-essential things out of your hand, even if it's a handheld flashlight. Throw that thing, get rid of it, and your fighting gun should have a weapon-mounted light on it for you to be able to utilize in a fight in low light conditions or in conditions where there are photonic barriers.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
This is the part that kind of bugs me. He moved off to the side, and I'll back that up just a little bit. Well, that's way too much. Sorry, the arrow keys on this one are not like the YouTube. So he backs away from the door so that he's not very visible much anymore. And then he decides to step out to that doorway area to where he is now more visible and has his back to that door. If you're going to break that threshold like that, instead of just having your back to the target, why not just step forward and to the side and have your lethal coverage pointing through the glass and return rounds to them? I don't think that stepping out in front of that door with his back turned was the brightest idea. He could have very easily caught rounds in the back of the head by doing that. If he was going to essentially do peekaboo by coming out behind concealment there, which is not really that great of concealment, then he should have been facing towards the threat and engaging the threat. If he wanted to egress from that area, I think the better option for him to do is just turn around, and the railing that would be on the other side of him that looks like this, just jump it and go over it. So we'll see the approach here. So as you can see, there's that railing there. He's got the railing here. All he's got to do is turn, shoop, jump over this, and now he's away from that area versus coming out and stepping in front of these doors and becoming more visible to the threat. He recognizes the fact that he doesn't need to take time to put that flashlight back in his pocket, so he drops it on the ground. That's a good move. I like that. If it's not something that's critical, it's not a sensitive item that you don't need to retain, just drop it to the ground. It can be picked up later.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Sounds like his personal cell phone is going off there. I'm not a fan of having the sound kept turned on for a cell phone, especially for all the notifications that could be coming through, especially if it's like your personal phone that's going to have multiple apps on it, or could have multiple apps on it, and you'd be getting notifications from all those things and it making all this chirping and beeping noise. That's just one that's super annoying to me. I kind of have a bit of a, misophonia when it comes to sounds like that. But other than that, it's unnecessary noise that could be not to your advantage if you were trying to conceal your position, say in the dark, and then boom, your phone starts making all that stupid ass noise. And it's distracting too. Like the noise, you may instinctively look down at the phone or something like that, not even thinking about it, taking your eyes off the threat or what could be the threat that has not presented itself yet, and then boom, that gives the adversary their moment to initiate attack and get you by surprise. So I always keep my phone on silent, mostly because the sounds are annoying to me, but secondly, so that I'm not going to find myself at night somewhere hiding, and then my phone makes a noise and gives me away. All right, moving on to the second body camera. All right, here we go with the second body camera here.
There's a kid in the apartment.
2, when you're about a location, nothing showing you.
What my... Wait, let me see your hands. Shots fired! 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 5-9. Oh, fuck. I got hit. You got hit? Yeah. Where? I got hit in the back. Alright. I'm good though. Alright, we have one officer hit. Sorry I'll be a mess in ALS. He's responsive.
Alright. Let's go back into this again. So here's the officer from the first body cam we watched approaching. He appears to be in a normal police uniform. Almost don't even look like he's wearing a vest under his shirt either.
There's a kid in the apartment.
2, when you're about a location, nothing showing you.
What my...
Well, he might be wearing a vest. Just that angle made it look like he wasn't. It's hard to say. Yeah, I think he's wearing a vest. I think you see the line right there. All right. So this guy just instinctively just turns and leaps down the stairs when shots fire out. He could have potentially backed up to the other space over in there. Actually, that's not going to be any hardly space at all. So he didn't really have anywhere to back up like the other officer did. The officer had some amount of room to back up to over here. He would not have over there. So his only option would be to just jump the rail itself right there and land on that side right there, and then potentially be stuck in this little area and have to contend with this fence as well going over, or just kind of turn and leap down the stairs and go this way.
Let me see your hands.
Pointing out that the sights here are not factory sights. I don't know what sights these are, but just something that I caught out the side of my eye there and thought it was worth noting. I don't think they would have bought the gun like this. This may have been something that either he did on his own or the department did. If it's something he did on his own, then I think that sights, as far as aftermarket sights to put on a Glock, excess big dot sights are good combat sights to have on a pistol. Any other sights, in my opinion, are just they're more range competition style sights. They're not really good combative sights, I guess you could say. The stock sights that come on them, there's plenty of agencies out there that have had officers involved in shootings, and they just utilize the stock sights that came on the Glock, and they've done just fine. They've shot people with them. But excess big dot sights are a better sight to have on the gun. I could talk a little bit more about excess big dot sights, but I think you could probably do an internet search on your own and see the merits of those sights. I will tell you that just reading about them, is one thing. To really understand how great they are, you've got to take a force-on-force class with a sim gun that has excess big dot sights on them, and also use one that doesn't, and you will very quickly be able to tell the difference in which is better. But anyway, so he takes cover behind this vehicle. It's not the greatest place to be at, but it's better than nothing. There's not much else around there for them to be taking cover behind. The trees are pretty anorexic, in my opinion, so it's really just a row of vehicles here for them to be behind. Not much in the way for good cover. The best places on a vehicle to use for cover are around the engine compartment, because the engine block itself is going to be what's going to catch those bullets. A 9mm will go through, say fire from this angle. A 9mm will go straight through the driver's side door and come out the passenger side door. No problem whatsoever. Even a 22 will go straight through a car door, no problem whatsoever. So you got to think about the angles and everything with vehicles, and think about if a round was fired, if it came through your opposite side, could it make it to you? And if so, you need to change your position if you can. If you can be around the engine block area, be around the engine block area. If not, try to do the angles where you have most mass between you and the bad guy. Not much else on this one. Let's go to the next body cam video.
Two, we have a location of the destroyer.
Let me see your hands. fire! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Not much from this one here. That was very, very short. See it again.
Wait. Let me see your hands. Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
All right, so he was initially on the sidewalk after backing away from the shots being fired, and then he decides to turn around and go towards the other side of the street to find cover. So, don't have much to say about this one. On to the next. So this is a very short one too. It's 13 seconds. So this is the other door that he emerges from. Let's see that again. All right. All right, so he opens the door. Looks like maybe his other hand was holding his second gun, possibly. Not really sure what's going on there. He emerges in the doorway. Gets the other gun positioned. This fucking dude's crazy looking. Like, you can definitely tell that this is not the first time the dude has been involved with the police. And so you can tell kind of from the profile of this one, it looks like this is probably a gun that has a laser beam on it. Not that it's of any use for him. And then beats feet down that way. So I have no idea if these officers knew that this other door was connected to the residence that he was in. So it's possible that when he came out, it was by complete surprise to the officers. They were probably all paying attention to that one door, and then boom, out of door number 2 comes this crazy son of a bitch. All right, on to the next.
Do you need that? You need my name anywhere? Last place is here on less than 5'9" and less than 5'9" and less than. That'll be the closest place. Responding with him. James, if you have any more.
Oh, 3. Oh! Oh, shit! Stop! 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 An air shot fired! The gun's next to him. Go! Stop! Stop! Cross the street! Watch the gun! Watch the gun! Watch the gun! Stay down! Stay down! Stay down! Crossfire! Guys, the crossfire! Don't get that gun! Oh, fuck. Fuck.
Get out, crossfire! Get on the left and come around this side! Come around this side!
Come behind us! Yo, he took a shot at me. Holy shit. You good? Yeah, I think I'm good. Go to the side. I'm okay. I got it. Don't worry. Go.
Back up.
Yes, got you.
Hold on. We're gonna hold from this side. There's 2 guns there.
What do you need? There's 2 guns.
On this side. We'll cover on this side. No one move from this side.
Okay.
Forrest, don't move, okay?
Fuck.
I got him. Watch it. I got him. We need a shield. You gotta move forward. Move forward. He has him. Stay
The second one is under the car. Second one is under the car.
I don't need that many guns. Just let me have the ID. Just release it. You can write one. Catch you. Good check up. Check your gun up. Are you gun up? You have one SWAT guy. Here, let me get 2 more guys at the end. Let me get this whole side of the street.
I got a shot fired.
They need to be moved now.
You good? Yeah, I have to. Are you good? Yeah, I'm okay. Let's finish that first.
He's got him with the right.
Come on.
All right. Let's see that again. So I forget how long they said that they waited outside before he reemerged, but this officer's out here chilling, taking cover behind the front of this vehicle here, and then boom, action time.
Oh, shit! Stop!
Not sure who ends up shooting him. I don't think it was this guy. There are multiple other officers on scene, but there's not that much body cam footage available, so I'm assuming that the rest of them either do not have body cams or they just forgot to turn theirs on. Or their batteries could have been dead and they were unable to turn them on.
Stop! I shot fired! The gun's next to him! Go! Stop!
I don't know what this pink thing is that
Stop!
keeps going in front of the screen.
Cross the street! Watch the gun! Watch the gun! Watch the gun! Stay.
It almost looks like hoodie ties. You know, like when you wear a hoodie and your little hood, you got the little drawstrings on there. It almost looks
Down.
like something like that. Other than that,
Stay down! Crossfire! Got the crossfire!
like I just don't know what the hell
Don't get that
pink
gun!
tassel things could be. So this officer comes up here and takes a position there. He's practically right there on the guy. I don't think that's a good position for him because there's little in the way of cover. I mean, he's kind of right out there. This officer too, he don't have much of cover or anything like that. I think it could have been better if this officer, if he wanted to take this position, to be a little bit further back and then leaning outwards some, peeking around here and then acquiring target so that he would not be exposing so much of himself.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
It looks like there is someone right down here, and it looks like another person is right there.
Get out, crossfire! Get on the left and come around this side! Come around this side!
So they do recognize the fact that there is crossfire and that they need to correct that issue. Because if there was people over here and then this guy then become kinetic again, they start shooting, rounds can start ricocheting off the ground and going towards other officers, or other officers could be way off target and send rounds closer to other officers.
Come behind us! Come behind us! I got it, don't worry, go!
Back up.
Yes,
And then these two arrive on scene, fully kitted out, helmets, kitted out vests that are, I don't think, normal patrol vests, and helmets, if I didn't say helmets already. The rifles right here are what needs to stay here and up front. These are going to be the fight stoppers right here. Rifles dominate every damn day. They outperform pistol. No contest.
Yes. I got it, don't worry, go!
Back up.
Yes, got you.
But it does not sound like they are prepared. Back that up a little bit and get them back into play.
I got it.
So you hear that clattering noise? That is a magazine falling and hitting the ground.
I got it.
Kaboom. Magazine right there.
I got it, don't worry, go!
Back up.
And it's his magazine.
Yes, got you.
And so you hear him inserting it into the gun. So that, sadly, is kind of a common thing, or more common than what it should be. I'm not going to say it's very common, but it's more common than what it should be. There's some videos floating around out there where you see officers armed with rifles and they go to shoot. They get one round off, and then the magazine falls out the gun. The magazine there was enough pressure or tension so it stayed within the mag well, but it was not seated properly. And when they fired that one round, of course, it blew it out the mag well and it fell the rest of the way to the ground. There's also the good possibility that you don't insert the magazine well enough into the gun and you go to work the bolt and it does not strip around off that magazine and you think you have a loaded gun, but you do not. So what this officer should have done before even getting there, when he went to make his rifle ready, he should have tugged on the magazine itself to make sure it's properly seated, worked the charging handle to charge it, and then got on deck. Since he did not do that, and he got here, and his magazine falls out the gun, that's either A, the magazine was loose to begin with and was not fully inserted, and it fell out, or he's all hyper and everything, and he accidentally hit the magazine release, and the magazine fell out. Regardless, he should have taken the magazine, inserted it back into the gun, and worked the charging handle again. That way, if it was an issue of he did not have it properly seated and it was just being held in there by tension but was not fully locked in, and it's possible that he did not have a round actually chambered, then by fully inserting it, hit and tug, make sure it's locked in, and racking that bolt, you now know for sure that you're going to be working with a loaded gun. So there's the potential right now that he put that magazine in the gun and did not work that bolt. He's still aiming an unloaded rifle. That possibility exists.
Here's some guns.
Back up.
Yes, got you. I got it, don't worry, go!
Back up.
Yes, got you. What do you need? Here's some guns.
On this side. We'll cover on this side. Don't move from this side.
Okay.
Forrest, don't move, okay?
Fuck.
I got him. Watch it. I got him.
We need a shield. You gotta move forward.
I like how this officer is thinking about how he's in the open and how he could make make his position better by going through here and getting behind something that's going to stop bullets for sure, and or he's thinking from the mindset of taking a more elevated position. Don't know what his thinking process was, but I like how he is thinking about his environment and he is using it to his advantage. He gets up here and he now has a better angle, but these officers move forward. They're a little more far forward and close to his line of fire than what would be comfortable for him to be able to do, because if they actually start moving forward, now he has no shot and he cannot be shooting anymore. We can start to see over here, there's more people here. There's a guy with a shield. He's got a helmet on, so he must be another tactical person arriving there. The rifles, I think, need to be more forward than the pistols do, because as I said, the rifles dominate. They are better than pistols. Where'd that person go? There they are. All right, so this person comes up to grab the guns on the ground and then retreat. Okay, that works, but I did not like how that played out. Someone with the gun, preferably one of the rifles, should have walked alongside him. That way there was better lethal coverage. Because once he got up there, he was in front of all the guns. And if that dude who still had a gun on him, remember, he had 2 guns in his hand that they recovered initially, but they found a third one on him. If he decided to become deadly at that point and try to go for that gun, while this guy was leaned over picking the other 2 up, and these officers fired, there's a good possibility they could have hit their own person over here. So someone should have been right on his wing, pointing deadly weapon down at the guy. I don't even know if this was a team effort or if this guy just decided he was going to self-dispatch, so to speak, and go do this on his own. If that was the case, that he decided he's going to run out here on his own and this was on a team-oriented kind of thing, then this guy needs to be disciplined, definitely, because he not only put himself at risk, he put everyone else at risk as well. By if he just did this on his own without anyone saying, "Hey, go do it," or being, no one planning for it, or anyone even knowing he was about to go do it. I kind of almost think that was an unplanned thing, like he just fucking did it in the moment, because 1, no one was there with him, and then 2, once he grabbed them and stepped away, they still kind of stand around and don't do much at that point. I would think that once the 2 guns were grabbed, they would be like, all right, we're gonna go hands-on with this guy now. But there doesn't appear to be any type of concentrated or coordinated type of thing going on here with these guys. All right, on to the next. All right, this is a surveillance camera, and this, I think, is a reversed image, because there's another one where you kind of see the same thing, but it's at a different reversed image. And you could tell basically based off the bumper and this taillight right here. So this one, for whatever reason, is in a reversed image. I'm sorry, the next one's going to be a reversed image, because if you remember correctly, that person approached from over here and grabbed the guns from here. So it's the next one, I'm sorry, that is reversed. But he comes running this way. He falls down. 2 guns fall right there. He kind of wallers around for a little bit. You see that officer appear right there. And he's got a good view of this guy, but he's just, if he was a little bit closer to here and was leaning out some, he could have a really great view of this guy. and still be able to duck back behind cover if he was to somehow reach out really quick, grab the gun, and start shooting. Or produce one that's on him and start shooting. So here comes this person with the gloves. And then picks them up and goes. Again, that's... Ugh. And it almost looks like this guy could have a rifle. Yeah, he's got a long gun of some sort, it looks like. So at least there was a long gun that close. But when this guy stepped forward, he was in basically the long gun's line of fire. Yeah, so, I mean, that's not a good position to be in right there. So, good idea, just going forward to grab the guns, but poor execution. There should have been someone right on his hip pointing a long gun down at this guy so that if he became a violent threat, wham, bam, thank you, man, he's no longer a threat. All right, on to the next. All right, so this is the one I was talking about that was a reversed image. So the guns are out of view. And this is the back of that SUV that I was talking about. So I don't know exactly when it is that dude comes up and grabs the guns, but this is kind of pretty much all you see up until the very end of this video. And then you'll see a couple guys pop out right here. And then boom, I'll end it right there. So it looks like they're making their approach to him, ready to do work. So again, another possibility of crossfire right here. So I know that there's other people pointing from the other direction, right? Where are they at now? Are they now creating another crossfire type of incident? Who knows? But they appear to be coming in to potentially take him into custody and start going from there. But this is where it ends at. This incident is interesting visuals, I guess you could say. Like, for example, what this guy's wearing. Like, there's a bunch of people who are not in traditional uniforms. They're just wearing what looks to be regular street clothes. Are these guys, like, you know, working special details where they don't wear a typical uniform, and the call came out and they all knew about this dude and they was like, uh-oh, shit's gonna pop off, let's go. Threw their vests on and then came. Like, I don't know. I wish there was some more information on that, on how they're operating. Not much else to say for this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.